4 money rules people always sleep on. In this video, you will learn the 4 rules of money necessary to succeed in today's competitive and unpredictable financial world. Before continuing, dear viewers, if you appreciate the content of this video and are satisfied with it, we invite you to consider the option of subscribing to our channel or supporting us with a donation. Your support is essential for the growth and constant improvement of our channel, and it will allow us to continue producing high-quality content for you. You can do it here below, through the appropriate buttons, subscribe, and thanks. Rule number 1. Stop spending money on things that lose value. For many people today, the good life is within reach. However, to obtain a lifestyle above their means, most people tend to behave as if they were rich, even if they are not. For example, they may not be able to afford to spend money on their work. For instance, they cannot afford a $155,000 Rolex, in fact, they do not even try to buy one. Yet, they would spend $400 on a Gucci watch. This is not one of the best ways to invest money. If you invest those $400 for 40 years with an 8% interest, you will have almost $10,000. Not only have you lost the opportunity to grow your money, but in 40 years, the watch will not even be worth those $400. On the other hand, not only would you still have your Rolex, but you would have maintained and perhaps even increased its value. This is because expensive watches not only become collector's items, but they also contain gold, which is a valuable asset in any form. So, if you want to increase your ability to make millions, stop buying things you cannot afford, like a $400 watch, and instead buy a $155,000 watch that will likely maintain or increase its value. Or better yet, buy a $25 Timex and ask a rich friend for the time. Before seeing the following rules of money necessary to succeed in today's competitive and unpredictable financial world, watch this video to see the first rule. The second rule is to reduce debt by 33%. Today, reducing debt is much harder than ever. With the old U.S. tax system, interest payments on credit cards and car loans were tax deductible. This meant that if you took out a $5,000 loan on a credit card, you paid $900 in interest at 18% and received a $900 tax credit. If your taxable income was $18,300 and you fell into the 33% tax bracket, the $900 interest payment represented a tax savings of $300. With the current tax system, however, interest payments are no longer tax deductible. The U.S. government hoped that eliminating deductions would motivate consumers to eliminate debt, but this has not happened. Record levels of personal bankruptcies are partly due to the increased cost of debt. This means that, apart from mortgages, if people need to borrow money, they should limit themselves to 2/3 of the amount they could have borrowed in the 1980s. Rule 3. Forget about having a lavish wedding and focus on your marriage. This applies not only to the bride and groom but also to their parents. Weddings are expensive. In the United States, the average cost is estimated at least $115,000. It is not necessary for the wedding to be a successful venture. It is enough to reduce it. It may seem easier said than done, especially for the bride, who will want a beautiful white dress, an orchestra, and flowers everywhere. I am not suggesting avoiding the wedding planning. If there are 200 guests, at $50 per guest, that is $10,000 just for the reception. Dress and veil $11,000, band $2,000, photographer $2,500, alcohol $2,000, limousine $250, invitations $600, rehearsal dinner $1,500, offering to the minister $250. 20-30 people is easy. Over $1,000 for an event that lasts only 4 hours. Many people who cannot afford to pay this cost bear it anyway, taking out loans or charging everything on their credit card. This is financial irresponsibility. Since money problems are one of the main causes of divorce, starting a marriage with debt is not the best way to start a marriage. It is not a good idea to subject yourself to this type of stress for no reason. People who spend too much on the wedding are often more interested in the wedding itself than in getting married. The wedding should be a memorable and wonderful moment, not a debt to be repaid forever. Finally, Rule 4. Do not give your children an allowance. The days when parents gave 50 cents for popcorn are over. Every parent today knows how much their children cost more than in the past and will cost even more in the future. That is why we must stop giving allowances. There are two reasons. One is to involve children in the fight against the allowance, and the other is to start teaching children the importance of money. Instead of an allowance, hire your children and pay them for household chores and assigned tasks. The secret is not to pay them too much. Otherwise, they will not bother to work. Make it clear that it is not a bribe. Do not pay salaries for household chores that require everyone's cooperation, such as taking out the trash. Save salaries for tasks that deserve compensation, such as repairing broken furniture. Do not base everything on performance. In most jobs, doing an excellent job does not mean having a higher salary. Teach that often the reward is the work itself. Do not take it for granted that your salary will increase as soon as your performance improves. Teach them that money comes with responsibilities, saving, investing, and having fun. Earning comes with obligations to oneself, the church and the community, the family and the future. Help them understand that it is not the money itself that is important, but what it allows them to do. In this way, children will learn the value of things and that life is made up of choices that concern them and others. If they learn that saving is easy and that money can grow quickly if left alone, they will struggle to convince themselves to spend it. Those who focus only on this do not enjoy life and risk falling victim to the root of all evil. Teach them to love what money can do, rather than loving money itself. The first employer withholds taxes, so get them used to it. The wisest invest the withheld money in savings and investments. When they complain that, despite years of savings, they do not have enough set aside to buy something important like a car, your contribution will make you look like a hero and teach them the value of delayed gratification and time in the financial world. If you put into practice the money rules that you will learn in this video, you will succeed in today's competitive and unpredictable financial world. We would like to know about your experience regarding the topic covered today. Share it with us in the comments, and if you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask them. We will gladly respond. Your like would be a source of satisfaction for us, and of course, do not forget to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the upcoming publications.